hope you guys like this HD CGI cutscene, because it's the only one you're getting.
Now, don't get me wrong, I love the CGI cutscenes in Sonic, but considering how the story goes and the way it's presented, there's not really a place for any other CGI cutscene. Sonic Freeriders did the same thing, and while that game has a vastly inferior story to this game, both games don't have a place for another CGI cutscene outside of the intro.
Hi, Sonic. Omochao and Big and I are having a picnic. Want to join us?
You're having a picnic with Big and Omochao? You invited Omochao to a picnic? Why?
Because he's a friend? Sure, we think he's annoying, but outside of LEGO Dimensions, which again isn't canon, the characters don't. And I know he's a robot, but you can do other things at a picnic, like chat with your friends. Besides, Lost World showed that Cubot can apparently drink, so who's to say Omochao can't do the same?
Also, I guess Cream just got nixed? Like, sure, she's been in side games and stuff, but her last major appearance was in Generations, and that was almost 10 years ago.
Agreed. Sega, where the f*** is Cream? Did people really hate her so much that you decided to give her the big treatment of never showing her again until the fans suddenly changed their minds? I don't even understand why she was hated to begin with.
Well done, one and all. Of course, some of you did better than others. Some of you might not survive at all. Ho, 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 ho.
You know, that creepy chuckle is one O away from an Eggman laugh.
Wait, that's what you're concerned about? He just said some of you might not survive. Is he planning on killing you guys?
You know how dangerous normal car races can be, right? Mix that in with the antics of the Sonic cast and you got a much higher chance of death.
I'm telling you guys, something about this whole setup smells rotten to me. What kind of person appears out of nowhere and has a bunch of strangers compete in a crazy, dangerous race?
I mean, you didn't have to say yes. Also, isn't that also the plot of Crash Team Racing? Wait a second, is this just a ripoff of Crash Team Racing?
No, it's not. CTR's plot was basically the Crash cast being forced to race each other, or nitrous oxide would turn the planet into a parking lot. TSR's plot is the Dom Pom making the Sonic cast race so he can fuel his new engine with the literal power of teamwork. Also, TSR actually has a team mechanic, which earns it the name more than CTR. Even weirder, Crash Nitro Kart does have a team system, so why isn't that gang called Crash Team Racing?
Wait, did we come back to Earth after the first race? Didn't Adampa say we were going to Planet Wisp? Was that just for the first race and then we just came back? What was the point? Couldn't we have just raced here? Why'd we have to go to another planet for that?
It's all for the sake of variety. The Donpa wants to host a Grand Prix like no other, and going to other planets for that would fit that bill.
I'll admit that this guy knows how to put on a great race, but there's still something about all this that doesn't add up.
I agree. This level of technology is advanced, even for me.
Tails, you've built multiple planes before. One of them could transform mid-flight into a fighter jet, and the one after that could transform into a battle mech. This is a car that can go really fast with the power of friendship.
Exactly. He's never built anything like that. Planes that can transform into mechs are fairly common in fictional media. Harnessing the idea of friendship and turning it into a power source for a race car isn't. Okay, do you like puns or do you hate them? Because you've seen so many in these videos, and yet I've seen you make a ton yourself. You can't have it both ways, man.
Jesus Christ, Tails, isn't that like if I said I feel like a mangled corpse?
Yes, and it's fitting since most people would feel like that after a crash or impact in this kind of race. Don't be a Karen.
Cash prize? Count me in. Come on, guys, we gotta do this.
You seem quite determined, Vector. We'll go, but only to bail you out of trouble when it happens.
Do you guys know each other? Like, yeah, I guess Silver and Vector worked together during Forces, and Vector and Blaze were at Sonic's birthday in Generations, but in both cases, I don't think any one of you interacted with each other.
Blaze, sure, but Silver?
Eggman's army is unstoppable. Without Sonic, the people are losing hope and giving into despair.
Despair is a luxury we don't have.
Sure, this is only one exchange, but given how Forces goes from here, Silver will most definitely know Vector by the end of it.
Hey, Silver. Long time no see.
Charriii sends the series' most prominent line cliché.
You came here from the future?
Yeah, I received the invitation in my era, 200 years from now, and journeyed back in time to participate.
What? How did that happen? Like, did Dampa just know who you were and go, you know who I like? That Silver Hedgehog fellow. He seems fast. He lives in the future. That's okay, I have a time machine.
Kind of, yeah.
Whoa! Dodonpa can send physical objects through space and time? That's a whole nother level of scary tech.
Yeah, but that tech has existed for a while. Don't you remember you, Sonic, Knuckles, Rouge, and Shadow all did that and you came back with the Chaos Emeralds? You know, in that game that we don't talk about? If you all remember Silver, you have to remember that you traveled through space and time.
1. Nobody entirely remembers 06. 2. Even if they did, the time travel was with the Chaos Emeralds, which are magic, not technology. The silver here is from the Rivals duology, where Eggman and Nega went back in time, which is the example you should have used. 3rd, just say 06 already. I know you and many others don't like to acknowledge it, but the fact of the matter is, it happened and we all let it happen.
Nice to see you, Blaze. Did Dodonpa send you an invitation to his race?
Yes. Apparently our enigmatic host is able to send messages across dimensions. Impressive.
Wait, okay, so Blaze is the Blaze from Rush, meaning that Silver is the Silver from Rivals? Well then, how do those two know each other? When would they have met? How would they have become friends who work together?
Sonic Colors DS. But that's not canon! Yes it is. The Mother Wisp appears in this game as part of the Planet Wisp race course. It's canon.
Do you do much driving, Princess? Or do you have a chauffeur?
Are you mocking me, Amy? I will have you know driving is one of my many skills.
I hope so, because I'd hate to make you look bad out there.
Damn, Amy's talking mad shit for someone who was being friendly not 2 seconds ago.
That's called getting your game face on. Before the race, it's all fun and games. But the moment you get on the track, it's war.
By the way, where's the rest of your detective agency, Vector? Espio and Charriii. Why aren't you guys a team?
Knuckles would surprisingly be good at CinemaSins.
If by good, you mean be so incredibly dumb that they keep being duped into thinking they're doing the right thing when they clearly aren't, then yes, he would be good at CinemaSins. But why is that a sin of this game?
I'm out here freelancing. Yeah, that's it. Trying to make a little extra coin.
You mean ring?
No, coin is also a slang term for money. It's not literal in this case.
I wish the boss had let us race with him instead of letting those egg pawns be on his team.
Well, how would you have done it? Neither of you have legs. Though I will say, huge missed opportunity to not have Orbot and Cubot be one racer where Orbot steers and Cubot uses his hands for the pedals.
Charriii answers himself, cliche.
Which makes me wonder, how is Vector able to race? The way his body works, I can't imagine him being comfortable sitting in a car since his tail would probably make it hard for his feet to reach the pedals.
Charriii won't suspend his disbelief, cliche.
I see you're racing with Shadow and Omega.
A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do when she wants to win.
Wait, Team Dark's not even in this race, and when did Team Dark show up?
In the previous cutscene, right before we cut to Orbot and Cubot.
You've never been unstoppable, Eggman. In fact, you're very stoppable.
And now these fellows are here as well. Oh, excellent, excellent. Let the race commence.
Everyone, it's a trap! Eggman and Dodonpa are working together!
I figured as much. We can't stop them right now, though. Sonic and Shadow are having a showdown.
Stopping an evil scientist from conquering the world.
The end of us.
Dick measuring contest. Dick measuring contest it is.
The point you think you're making, albeit in a jokey way, is that they should prioritize Eggman over pointless rivalries. However, Sonic and Shadow have always had time to settle any petty disputes before going after Eggman. And before anyone says, but he's joking, then why does he add a sin? Why doesn't he have a separate counter for the jokes? We all know by now that he's not joking all the time, so why does he lump the jokes with the other actual points? Also, Charriii says dick.
Sky Road is just Cloud Top Cruise from Mario Kart 8, and the only reason I know that is because they're both my favorite track from the respective game.
This is a map of Sky Road, and this is a map of Cloud Top Cruise. As you can see, they are nothing alike. The tracks themselves may have similar elements to them, but they are not the exact same track. Also, Charriii sends something he likes.
I don't know why everybody's mad at Dodonpa. This race is fun and my car is cool.
This is the only time the Chow interject for anything, which is weird that they'd all be in the car because as a robot, shouldn't Omo Chow be able to handle it on his own? Or do the other Chow do the pedaling and stuff?
I'll give you how they drive the car, but they actually interject a few times throughout the course of this game. In fact, later down the line, they play a key role in outing Eggman's spy.
Racers, you've performed surprisingly well so far. The information I've acquired from watching you will prove most useful.
I am a princess. not your little performance monkey.
You know, they talk mad shit about monkeys in the Sonic universe, with Amy using it as an insult in Heroes and now Blaze here, but we've never had a monkey character in this cast. In fact, come to think of it, all the monkeys we've seen in this universe are badniks. Why are monkeys the bad guys in this world?
Well, monkeys are generally seen as just silly and foolish, which, in the context of Blaze's insult, fits it to a T. Besides, do they really need a reason to use monkey as an insult when there aren't any monkey characters outside of the badniks? It's not like they're being racist.
Looks like you lose again, Eggman. What does that make, like 1,000,000 times or something?
I don't keep score.
Ooh, I do. It's exactly 227,000.
Over 227,000 times? That means these characters must be older at this point, right? Because if this is still in the span of a year, assuming it's been a full year, Eggman devises a plan and loses to Sonic and friends approximately 622 times a day. And yes, I did the math. How the fuck is that possible?
The passage of time in Sonic's world may be largely unknown, but I highly doubt the entire franchise took place in the span of a year. Forces did have a 7-month time span after all. Being generous, let's assume that at this point it's been 28 years since Eggman's first loss in Sonic 1. Like in the real world. 28 years is 10,220 days, and if you divide 227,000 by that, you get roughly 22 failures a day. Now that may still sound ridiculous, but again, this is under an assumption. We don't know for sure how much time has passed up until this point. You can't make any accurate assumptions.
Team Duck, let's slag these robots.
Is this line changed in the UK? Because for the British, that word takes on a completely different meaning.
Man, you gotta be thirsty as hell to resort to using other regions' scripts to get your sex jokes. Also, I couldn't find a copy of the UK script for this game, so if there's anyone from the UK who owns this game watching this, please leave a comment saying what this line is.
Mr. Paw works with wisps, and wisps only like nice people.
What is this lore that we've never seen before? I mean, I guess wisps have been around for a while, but I've never seen anyone but Sonic and Tails interact with them.
What about when Orbot and Cubot were chasing them? Or when Eggman had them all locked up? I feel like that's an easy thing to remember.
I think I'm getting the hang of these moves.
Froggy always says that practice makes perfect.
You know, Big has said a lot of weird things in the past. Him claiming that Froggy talks to him is somehow the weirdest thing he's ever said.
Based on what? The only other weird thing he says is being able to smell Froggy, and cats have a good sense of smell. Pets can talk to their owners, just in their own way.
One person can't watch the whole track, but a whole lot of people can watch one track. Or in this case, many Chow.
What do you mean?
Look at the stands. The Chow are watching the race. Both Hero Chow and Dark Chow. If something bad happens, they will react. That will be your signal.
That's still not the same thing as watching the whole track. The racers can only see so many spectators at one time. Plus, wouldn't it be dangerous to watch the spectators and not the road?
They're not gonna watch the spectators, they're gonna listen for them. The plan is to have the Chow in the stands watch the track for any suspicious movement and freak out when they see something. A lot of Chow screaming at once would get the racers' attention.
Happy to lend a pretty blue hand.
So your hands are blue under those gloves. This game has the weirdest lore.
So what? Weirder things have happened in these games.
We need to stay strong and keep racing.
I'm going to need a vacation after all this.
A vacation? Amy, what do you do all day that merits a vacation? You were going on a fucking picnic today. You have the chillest life I've ever heard.
So based on one picnic earlier in this game, Amy automatically has the chillest life you've ever heard. Do you not remember everything Amy has done in the games up until this point?
It says here Dodonpa is the president of Donpa Motors?
They're the biggest automobile corporation in the universe.
There's more. He's also the king of a planet called Donpa Kingdom.
Wait, then why did he take us to Planet Wisp and not his own planet? He's the fucking king!
Maybe because he simply chose not to. He's the one who organized this race, so he has the right to not race on his home planet.
So, your ultimate energy engine will revolutionize transportation, fuel new industries, and reduce pollution using nothing but the inherent strength of teamwork?
Indeed.
So my friends are literally my power cliche?
Only in My Little Pony. Everywhere else it's figurative, not literal. Besides, this is a similar case to Heroes and Forces where the cliche is executed well, albeit a bit less so than in Heroes. Deeming a cliche bad just because it's a cliche is a CinemaSins level criticism that holds next to no weight. You can have a couple cliches in your story and not have it detract from the quality of said story. Come up with a better argument.
Zavok, you're pathetic. The only thing you're the master of is bad driving.
Dude, I don't think Zavok has ever driven a car before. You picked the worst guy for this job.
What about Metal Sonic? He's never driven a car before. The only thing he ever piloted was an airship in Sonic 4 Episode 2, and you don't complain about him driving. What makes Zavok a worse choice?
Kidnapped! Did you see where they went?
Probably someplace. What's a final fortress?
What do you mean, what's a final fortress? Big, you've been there before.
Yes, but it's clearly been a very long time since then. Plus, Big isn't exactly the sharpest tool in the shed, so expecting him to remember that is a bit futile.
Wait, why do you have paint sensors? Did Eggman install those on you? That's a dick move.
Hello, evil!
All three of you are terrible. What do I pay you for?
I do not get paid.
Then why are you doing this?
Charriii sends the same thing twice, cliche. And I say that because...
No, it has eluded me. It is clearly kept in an unknown location.
Don't these two hate each other? Why are they working together? What leverage does Eggman have against Zavok? Does he owe Eggman a favor or something?
Bad news, Sonic! With the fortress's crash, this airship is gonna fall out of the sky!
What? Tails, we gotta go save Dodonpaw! Tails, Silver, Rouge, Chow. Grab the guys who can't fly and get out of here!
Okay, but what about the cars?
My friends' lives. Cars that we got for free that can be replaced.
Leave it to us.
Sorry, but that joke doesn't work when, as you're making it, Sonic immediately shoots down the idea of taking the cars with them. Hey everyone, Tony Sonic here. Thanks for watching the video, and as always, I hope you enjoyed the show. Team Sonic Racing is, in my opinion, an underrated kart racer. I mean, yeah, in comparison to things like Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, it's lesser, but that doesn't make it bad by any means. On its own, it's still a fun distraction at the very least. And let's face it, it's a lot better than Chocobo GP. When will Square Enix learn? In any case, with that said, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, comment what you thought, and consider subscribing so the channel can keep going and I can keep giving you all content. Shout out to the Super Hog channel members for their support. And the last Everything Wrong With of the year will be on the Writers Trilogy. All three in one video. I know now that Frontiers is out, we basically have confirmation that it does not take place in the future, but rather before all that. But that game was not out by the time I made that decision, so please don't hold it against me. Whatever the case, see you next time.